Chapter 19. Moonface gets into a fix. Oh, that's where I probably got the word fix from. Oh, and the children were looking for things for their parents because number one, they're trying to suck up and get like good boy and girl points, but their family is also like poor, I think, which I mean was common at the time. Like, that's why they had to move to the country for their dad to get like a different job, or he moved to the country for work, which was common at the time. And apparently something happened and they're like struggling. I think their dad lost some money because of his gambling addiction, but who knows? Subtext. But they don't have any fucking food. Or they have like they're like all eating just like bread. And their mom's like, "Oh, I wish we had hens so that we could eat eggs at least." So now they get to go into the land of take what you want and get hens. And their dad broke their garden spade. So Joe needs to find a garden spade because they need to garden to eat as well. And I can't remember what else they needed. They needed like a frying pan for their mom too. What good children. The children went over to the hens that Joe had seen. They were lovely ones, but a very peculiar color. For their wings were pale green, and the rest of their... I'm gonna fucking cry. Okay, stop. For their wings were pale green, and the rest of their feathers were a buttercup yellow. I want chickens. Too. They had funny high voice. I think these are just parrots. They had funny high voices and were very friendly indeed. And they came to press themselves round the children's legs like cats. Do you suppose Mother would like hens this color? Said Joe doubtfully. I don't see why not, said Bessie. I think they're very pretty. The thing is, do they lay good eggs? One of the hens at once laid an egg. It was large and quite an ordinary color. Bessie was pleased. There you are, she said. If they lay eggs as big as this one, Mother will be very pleased. How many hens are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? I wonder how we can take them all. Oh, they'll follow you, said Silky. Just like my clock follows me. 6, 7. Oh my god. Okay. Hello, Hunter Robinson. Child Drifter. I see it everywhere now. Just tell them you want them, and they'll follow you. We want you to come with us, hens, said Joe at once, and the 7 green-winged birds came over to him and lined up in a row to follow the children. It was really very funny. Well, that's our hens found, said Bessie, pleased. Now for the goat and the spade. Oh yeah, they need a goat. Why did I think they needed a frying pan? It's actually the funniest thing that it could be. Like, oh no, I got it wrong. A goat. You know, easy mix up. They wandered along looking at everything. It didn't matter what anyone wanted. They were sure to find it sooner or later. There were boats there, all kinds of dogs, shopping baskets, rings, toys, work baskets, and even such small things as thimbles. "It's the strangest land I ever saw," said Joe. "We look pretty strange too," said Fanny, giggling, as she looked round and saw the 7 hens and the big clock padding along behind them. "Oh, look! There's the dearest, prettiest white goat I ever saw. Do let's take her." Sure enough, not far off was a lovely white nanny goat, with soft brown eyes and perky ears. She looked quite ordinary, except for 2 blue spots by her tail. I'm actually gonna I'm sure everyone's tired of hearing about my bird, but that, the description of the chickens and now the goat together, that's literally what my bird looked like, and my brain is broken, and, I can't stop thinking about it, and I'm fine. It makes me, happy, but he had blue spots, and he was green-winged-ish, he was mostly yellow. I feel like I'm being pranked right now. Thank you. That's how pretty he was, too. "Little white goat, come with us," cried Fanny, and the goat trotted up at once. It took its place behind the hens, but it didn't seem to like the clock, which bumped into it every now and again just to tease it. Yeah, all the colors. Every color makes me sad now. Thought it was a mic. Wait, what are we talking about? Oh, your thimble. Ahem. So the goat took its place behind the hens, but it didn't like the clock, which bumped into it every now and again just to tease it. "Don't do that, clock," said Silky. "I hope your clock won't be a nuisance," said Bessie. "It's definitely not behaving like a grandmother, is it? It's a bit of a tease, I think." "Now for the garden spade," said Joe, as he suddenly saw a fine, strong spade hanging up on the fence with some other garden tools. It'd be funny if you found, like a handheld item there, and then you're like, "All right, spade, now follow me," and someone's like, I mean, you can just carry it. That one's not animate. "What about this one, girls? This looks strong enough for father, doesn't it?" He took it down and dug in the ground with it. It was a splendid spade. Joe put it over his shoulder, and the 4 of them grinned joyfully at each other. "We've got everything we want," said Joe. "Come on, we'll go back to Old Moonface, and then we'll take some cakes for tea." So, followed by the 7 hens, the white goat, and the clock, the 4 of them made their way back to where they had left Moonface. But he wasn't sitting where they had left him. He was pulling at a lovely rug, which was hanging from a tree. It was perfectly round, with a hole in the middle. "Hello, hello," yelled Moonface as he saw them. "Look what I've got! Just what I've always wanted for my round tree room. A round rug with a hole in the middle where the slippery slip begins. How fine." "But, Moonface, you said you'd watch to see that the land of Take What You Want kept by the faraway tree all right, didn't you?" said Silky anxiously. "Where is the hole that leads down to the faraway tree?" "Oh, it's somewhere over there," said Moonface, draping the rug round him and staggering off. "Come on, we're sure to find it." But they didn't. It had gone. For the land of Take What You Want had moved away from the faraway tree. "Moonface, it's too bad of you," said Joe anxiously. "You did promise." Moonface looked worried and pale. Okay, bro. What the fuck is going on in the chat? Get some rest. Wait, why can't I move this? Oh. Wait, why can't... What? Did they change the fucking interface? Wait, time out. Go get some rest, bro. 600 seconds. Mod, can we get that to like 8 hours or something? Perfect nap time. I don't know why it's not letting me do it. I don't know how many seconds 8 hours is. I was like not even reading what they were saying, so I don't know what they were on, but mostly nonsense. Okay. Well, see you tomorrow, bro. Drunk and German. Dangerous. Guten Nacht. Yeah. Thank you. "Moonface, it's too bad of you," said Joe anxiously. "You did promise." Moonface looked worried and pale. He hunted about for the hole, but there was no hole to be seen. He began to shake with fright. "I've got to get you. I've gotten you all in a terrible fix," he said in a trembling voice. "Here we are, stuck in a land where there's everything we want, and the only thing we want is to get away." Everyone looked upset. This was too bad. "I feel cross with you, Moonface," said Joe in a stern voice. "You said you'd keep guard and you didn't. I don't think you're much of a friend." "And I'm ashamed of you too, Moonface," said Silky. Oh my god, Moonface is gonna freaking... "I'm ashamed of you too, Moonface," said Silky, who had tears in her eyes. "We'll find someone to help us," said Moonface gloomily. And they all set off, followed by their hens, their goat, and the clock, which kept striking 4 o'clock. Nobody knew why. But now they found a very curious thing. There didn't seem to be anyone at all in the land of Take What You Want. All the gnomes, the pixies, the brownies, and the elves had gone. They must have known the land was going to move off, said Moonface with a groan. And they all slipped down the ladder in time. Oh, why did I leave it? They wandered all over the land, which was not really very large, but was more crowded with things and animals than they had ever seen anywhere. It wasn't very large, but more crowded with things and animals than anywhere they had ever seen. I can't think what to do, said Silky. It's true that there is everything here that we want, and we shan't starve. But this isn't the sort of place we want to live in forever. They walked here and there, and then suddenly they came to something that they hadn't noticed before. It was a large and shining aeroplane. Oh, said Joe, his eyes gleaming. Look at that! How I wish I could fly an airplane. Can you fly one, Moonface? Moonface shook his head. Silky shook hers too. That's no good then, said Joe with a sigh. I thought perhaps we might fly away from this land in the airplane. He climbed into the aeroplane and had a good look at it. There were 5 handles there. One had a label that said up. Another had a label that said down. A third had one that said straight on. And a fourth and fifth said to the right, to the left. Joe stared at the handles in excitement. I believe I could fly this airplane, he said. I do believe I could. It looks quite easy. No, Joe, don't, said Bessie in alarm. But Joe had pressed the handle labeled up. And before anyone could say another word, the shining airplane had risen upwards with Joe, leaving the others staring open-mouthed on the ground below. I do think I can fly. Now Joe's gone, said Fanny and burst into tears. The airplane rose up and up. It circled round when Joe pressed the handle labeled to the right. It flew straight on when he pressed the third handle, and it flew down when he pressed the down handle. It was just as easy as that. Joe flew neatly down to the ground, which also takes talent, and landed him not far away from the others. They rushed to him, shouting and laughing. Joe, did you really fly it by yourself? Well, you saw me, said Joe, beaming at everyone and feeling most tremendously grand. It's so British. I need it. He was feeling tremendously grand. It is quite easy. Get in, everyone, and we'll fly off. Maybe we'll come to somewhere that Moonface knows if we fly long enough. And they all got in. Bessie packed the 7 squawking hens at the back and sat the white goat on her knee. The spade went on the floor. The clock made a nuisance of itself because it wouldn't stay where it was put, but kept climbing over everybody's feet to look out the window. Silky began to wish she hadn't brought it. I'm gonna toss the clock out of the airplane. Silky began to wish she hadn't brought it. Ready? Asked Joe, pressing the handle marked up, and up they went. What a lovely feeling it was. They really couldn't help feeling excited. Silky's clock got terribly excited too. It struck 29 without stopping. I shan't wind you up tonight if you don't keep quiet, said Silky suddenly. And that finished the clock. It lay down in a corner and didn't say another ding or another dong. Where are we off to, I wonder, said Bessie. But nobody knew. The end of chapter 19. And maybe I should keep it a surprise for next week. Oh shit, well I just lost the page anyways. And this book is about to fall apart because it's literally like 100 years old. But thank you, everybody. We're gonna, yeah,